All right, world, let's do this. What up to the runners? I'm Lo Johnson, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'll be talking about Berlin, 6 stars, what shoes I ran in, how I got into Berlin, the obstacles that I faced while I was in Berlin, and I'll be talking about my updates to my health and what it looks like for the rest of this fall running season going into 2026. So kick up your feet, grab some popcorn. Let's get right into it. Let's go. In 2025, going after my 6 star. But before we can get to the race, we gotta take a flight. Land the journey. Let's go. Talk about my 6 star journey. For those of you who don't know or are new to my channel, I have a goal to become, and I'm still on that path, to become the first former NFL player to run all 6 world majors. I am currently 1 star away, and I know Sydney has been added. I believe Cape Town will be added, and if I'm not mistaken, China will have one as well. But right now, it stands as a 6 star major, including Sydney 7, which I plan on running in 26, God willing. But a little bit about how I got here. Adidas was gracious enough. Adidas was gracious enough to give me a bib for 2025 Berlin race, and I got in, and the goal was to just finish. I didn't have a time goal. Just wanted to get out there, like I said, to make history. I sent my story over to Believe It or Run Thomas. I sent it over to NFL, and the NFLPA did decide to pick up on the story, so they'll be tracking me. I did have, now let me rewind back. I did not finish the Berlin 2025 marathon. Let me say that again. I did not finish 2025 Berlin Marathon, unfortunately, but it's very frustrating to even say that out loud. But again, it was a crazy, crazy journey. But let's talk about a little bit more of how I got there. So I started a 17-week training plan. It went very well. I did my normal, my usual. I bumped it up a bit. I normally run about 30 to 35 miles, which is just kind of finishing a race material. But talking to some people, and they said, if I wanted to run the sub 4 marathon, I would have to bump that up to at least 40 to 50 miles, just so I can even have a chance of running a sub 4 marathon. So that's what I did throughout the training plan. I hit 17 weeks strong. I followed it strong. I didn't have cross training as much as I wanted to. When I say cross training, that means weightlifting, kind of doing different exercises. But I did manage to run almost every day. Well, I did run every day because I'm currently at 1,000 days, not including today, but 1,000 days straight of running at least 1 mile a day. And again, I know some people look at my Strava like, well, technically you're not running almost every day, but I did do a mile. So I kind of jog walk some days on my off days. Mondays and Fridays in my training plan are normally like my off days. So I did kind of walk jog those days. If you look at my Strava and you're like, man, how is this guy running 8 to 9 minute miles? But on Mondays and Fridays, he's up in the 18 to 20 minute range, right? And that's because, like I said, it is good to give the body rest. But if you're on the run streak, it's hard to kind of manage that rest with running. So what I did, I would jog walk and kind of use it as meditation. So that's what I did throughout the entire block. So when I did ride to Berlin, there were pigeons everywhere, like Believe It or Run talked about, and it was an all-out party going on. When I got off the train, got a chance to see the famous TV tower of Berlin. The hotel was probably about a half a mile away. The hotel was extravagant. Shout out to Adidas. I was staying maybe about a mile away from the start line. I mean, it was vintage Berlin, everything you would want. This is the Soho Hotel where I was staying. It was fire. Alright, so after a cozy night of sleep, I jumped up with the Adidas team for the shakeout brunch. Had a chance to see the start and finish line of the Berlin Marathon. The gate was absolutely beautiful. Got a chance to walk the street. Graffiti, you can't see it here, but graffiti was everywhere. I'm assuming this is the graffiti capital. And you can't be in Germany without checking out some of the pastries. I grabbed me a pretzel, and I just had to let y'all watch me absolutely devour my pretzel. It was delicious, not too salty, very fluffy, a little bit of crunch to it, but yeah, pretty much all of the food in Berlin was delicious. Not a fan of the currywurst, but the pretzels were banging. Can't lie. All right, y'all. So I finally arrived at the expo, and I met my guy. Pack and pick up. It was funny. Pack and pick up. It was crazy because I did.
Thank you very much.
Let's go.
Thank you for all. USA.
Paris.
You already know.
Bib secure, baby. Bib is secure.
To me, and down. Like, please, thanks. Alright, that's it.
Let's go, baby. I'm in, baby. Thank you. Let's go. Let me get it back. Thank you. All right, so now we're here. We're inside of the Berlin Expo. I can't lie. Hoka took the show with the cool mannequins. That was the second time I seen that. Like that's just a fantastic display of running and grabbing people's attention. But I was here for my energy gels, grabbed my morning gels, grabbed my caffeine, and I honestly was ready to go. Kind of been up on my feet all day running around, but I headed to this restaurant that one of my running friends suggested for me. I was in the mood for some ramen, so I headed over to the spot. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The service wasn't really what I expected to be. The food wasn't what I expected to be. It was a tad bit spicy. I asked her not to give me anything spicy. I'm not the best at ordering ramen, but yeah, just don't give me spicy. And that's exactly what she gave me. I think she gave me some curry. It was no noodles. It was just rice. I didn't want to be a pain in the ass, so I just took what they gave me, enjoyed my meal. But again, I wouldn't advise this place at all. I'm not sure if they were just having a bad day or they just were overwhelmed with all the marathon people there in town. But food wasn't delicious at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was 4 out of 10, and the service was 2 out of 10. Seriously. Man, I'm so disappointed in that pho I just had. I'm just like so blown, but about to go get some regular pasta and pizza, top off the night. Our upload is almost done. We're racing the morning. Let's go. Alright, so before I headed back to my hotel, I had to go see the Berlin Wall Memorial. This is just a huge part of history. I've seen it 1,000 times from movies, heard about it via social media, so I had to put my eyes on it. Honestly, the wall was actually way taller than I expected to be, and as you can see, it had graffiti all over it. Not gonna lie, I just had to take the moment to touch it. It was crazy, man. So, went to the expo, and as you can see, I bought the Berlin jacket. Now, hopefully, I get this stuff free. I'm not gonna lie to you. This trade ran me about 120 euros, but it was definitely worth it. Let me go ahead and try this on for y'all real quick. Wow. This is my first time actually putting it on since I left Berlin. But as you can see, this jacket is so fire. I absolutely love. I got a jacket from almost every major. Well, I do have a jacket from all of the majors that I've read. I think it's important that we pick up these pieces because they're part of the history, right? Like 120 is well worth it. But again, let me get the jewels out. But so I wound up getting this jacket. I had a great time, as you can see. And at the expo, I wound up picking up a bunch of Morton gels. I did pick up a ton of caffeine gels, a ton of regular gels. It was all Morton, but again, all throughout my training, I've been running and I've been training my gut to kind of utilize those specifically. So I wasn't worried at all, right? I wasn't worried about that at all. But again, it's Saturday. I'm ripping and running. I'm carb loading on the run. I'm hydrating on the run. I was catching the train throughout. I should have been Ubering around, keeping my legs fresh, but I wasn't. And then the next day was the marathon day. So I've kind of been ripping and running, trying to carb load, keeping my hydration up, and not really being mindful to my carb, but I was. I can't lie and say that I wasn't fully hydrated because I was. I believe I was anyway. So the next day, it's hard to sleep marathon night. So I came in on Friday from an 18-hour travel, hard to sleep marathon night. I was ripping and running around all Saturday, right? And now it's Sunday and it's time to run the big race, right? Oh, we are.
So small.
Let's go. Let's go. 3 miles down, baby. 23 to go. 6 stars. Let's go. Feeling good. Feeling hydrated. Let's work. I'm having a good time. First quarter stop. You see I'm walking. We here to finish, baby. Let's go. Alright, just wrapped up mile 6. I'm about to cut my phone off and go like 30%. I want to make sure I get the end. So I check back in like mile 15. Let's go. 6 stars both, baby. Let's get fuck out here. You gonna make it. We get across that finish line. Man, let's fucking go. Let's go. What's good? What's good? Back inside the race. Man, slapping the wall, legs cramping up. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna finish by any means necessary. You feel me? Let's go, brother. By any means necessary. Let's get across that finish line. Let's go. As promised, I'm back in mile 15. Listen, it's a blazer, it's a hot day, but no excuses. Cramping up. It is what it is. We just here to finish and get our 6. Let's go, baby. Inside the race, runners run. Let's go. Definitely gonna walk y'all the rest of this. Let's go.
6 miles out, it's like super dizzy.
Race gets going. I'm sticking to my routine. Now, I will say this. I did one thing that I normally don't do, and the Mortons have this packet of mixture which has caffeine in it, right? I did use one of those. I've never used that during my training, but I did use one of those, which kind of spiked the caffeine even more. Now, to be honest, I took that and then I started the race and I took another caffeinated gel. So now I'm about 200 milligrams in, and this is prior to the race even starting. So I get to my plan, which is every 3 miles, I'll take a gel. So I do caffeine, regular, caffeine for the first half. So at the halfway mark, I'm about 400 milligrams exactly of caffeine in from the Morton gels. Um, at about mile 14 or 15, I really start feeling the cramps. And it's not unusual for me. Even like I said, I ran about 10 to 12 marathons already. So normally at about mile 16 or 18, I start feeling those cramps, but I'm able to push through. I haven't hit my goal time yet, but I have been getting faster with, because I've been training the mind and the body and the gut to handle the gels, the nutrition, the travel, all of these things. But I started cramping at about mile 14. And, I'm walking through the water stations. They do have the Morton mixes, so I'm taking those electrolytes as well as the water, walking throughout. But I'm still running. I'm at about a 925 to 950 pace. I'm back and forth between those times up until about mile 13 to 14. And then I start really feeling the cramp. So I start slowing down my pace to about anywhere between a 10 to 12-minute mile, and just hoping that I can make it, past that point. So I'm rolling, and people are shooting videos with me. I have on the 6 star, which is this. I have on the 6 star, cheer me on today. I'm going for my 6 star. I have this on, so people are cheering me on, pat me on the back, telling me you got this, we almost there. And I get up to about mile 17, and I really start feeling dizzy out of nowhere. Um, and I step off to the side because my legs are like super cramping, my hamstrings almost can't go anymore. And in my mind, I'm thinking David Goggins. I'm only 40% done. I'm getting my ass through this no matter what happens. And then, I started cramping even more. So, someone steps off. I don't know who it is, but they step off and they give me 2 salt tablets. I take those and I start drinking more water. I start feeling a bit better. At about mile 18 and a half, mile 19, I am completely delusional. People are running past me cheering. The bells are so loud and it is so hot at this point. I'm sweating crazy. My heart rate is about 125, 130, and I'm damn near walking at this point. So I'm like really scared and I'm nervous and I'm wobbly, I'm woozy, and I would never forget. I'm turning this curve, and the officer he walks over to me and he says, I really can't understand what he's saying because he's like, you know, he's from Berlin, Germany, so I can't really understand his language, but I just remember him waving to me, like almost in slow motion, like asking me to come over, and he puts his arm around me. He was like, we gotta take you to the medic. And I'm like, no, I'm like 6 miles away from finishing. Like, no, I gotta finish this. I'm here for my 6 star. And he's like, no, come see it. So they pull me off to the side and they take my blood sugar and they took my blood pressure. They're like, man, just take a second for yourself. Do you need any water? I'm like, nah, I've been drinking a ton of water. I'm fine. So they get me water anyway. I dump the water on it and I'm standing and I just can barely stand. They're like, man, you need to sit down. You're wobbling all over the place. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm going to finish. I'm good. I'm right here. And, you know, at this point, it's like my heart rate is through the roof. I think I was at about a 125, 130, and I was standing there for about 10 minutes. So, um, They're like, we gotta call an ambulance. And I'm like, no way, no. I have to finish. People are counting on me. I'm counting on myself. I want to make history. They're like, you have to get in the ambulance because we don't want you to fall out and then you can hurt yourself even more. So at this point, man, I just keep thinking about my family, and I'm in my mind. I had read an article about a football player actually dying running a half marathon or a marathon, and all I keep thinking is, man, am I going to die out here and not see my family? So I did get in the ambulance. I wound up calling my wife and letting her know what was going on, and you know, I didn't want to go to sleep, but I just kept like dozing in and out. So I just was fighting my sleep, and then once I finally got to the hospital, they took my blood pressure again, and then they took my heart rate. It still was at about a 115 at this point, and now I'm scared because it's like, why is my heart rate not coming down? And when I get there, it's already about 15 people all on stretchers that were coming from the marathon. Some asleep, some look like it's carnage everywhere. So I'm like, man, just give me an IV. If you think I can make it back, they were like, no, man, the race is over for you. And that was the most heart wrenching, worst part about it. Just knowing I couldn't go back out there because I was, at the hospital. And I remember getting a phone call from Thomas. He called me like, dude, are you all right? And I'm like, no, man, I'm in the hospital. They took me off. And he's like, man, it's okay. Take it easy, bro. You're gonna make it through this. And then, my boy Waters, he wound up calling me, and I didn't even want to answer the phone because I didn't want to let him know that I was letting the team down. Those guys at the time, again, they had just finished Rep Your Run crew, so I didn't want to down them with the news, but they were tracking me, and everybody was saying that, I had basically went off the grid, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, so they were concerned. So I wound up shooting them a text like, yeah, man, I'm in the hospital, and I won't be able to finish. And yeah, it's really, really, really heartbreaking. But my boy Ted, he hit me up. So Ted, thank you, brother, for hitting me up. And he gave me confidence to say he'll do everything that he can to help me get back into 2026. Don't worry about it. Man, there's so many people that were reaching out to me. Thank everybody who reached out to me. Thank you to Adidas. Thank you to New Balance. Thank you to everybody who supported me over this journey. Um, so I did wind up coming home and getting some blood work done. I think they call it Rambo. Anyway, I'm super dehydrated. My muscles are completely shot out and done. I think ultimately my doctor said it was the perfect storm, but I am so grateful to God that I have no heart issue, no lung issues, no blood clots, none of those things. But I've been advised to end my run streak, which is at 1,000. I'm still on the fence about that. I'm not going to lie. It's very, very hard to let something go that you work hard for, and it's a part of my life now, right? So I'm on the fence about that. Not sure where that will go, but as of right now, I am going to shut down for the rest of the year. I had plans on running Chicago. I had plans on running New York. Um, Maybe New York. Let's see how we feel after about 2 or 3 weeks. But as of right now, the answer is no. Just because I am so nervous about my health. Over these past couple of days, I've been back to the emergency room twice just to get liquid IVs because the kidneys are kind of under pressure. So it's been an uphill battle, but I'm feeling great. My mindset is there, and I'm focused for 2026 Berlin. Um, yeah, that's my story. I hope y'all enjoyed it. As you can see, I'm gonna hold on to this tight. I'm gonna hold on to my bracelet tight. And next year, we will be the first former NFL player to run all 6 world majors. Let's go. Run this run. And like the YouTubers say, like and subscribe, baby. Enjoy your run. Let's go.